Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Scarecrow, and welcome back to another episode of Black Ops 3 In Depth. Today, we're going to be looking at the HLX-4, which was the SMG added in on December the 9th of 2016 by Treyarch, and this gun, I was really excited to do this gun, I really was. A lot of people have been telling me how amazing it was and how strong it was, and so I was eager to get my hands on it and to try it out for myself, and I am quite glad to say that this gun didn't let me down in any way. This is certainly a very, very strong SMG, and I'll give my personal opinion at the end of this video because I have some interesting things to say about this weapon. So, first of all, before we go any further, I would like to say a huge thank you again to Anarchy for allowing me to use his account. Such is the way in Black Ops 3 that I have to use accounts for weapons that I don't own, and I have not been lucky enough to unlock the HLX for us, so he graciously allowed me to use his account again, and I would like to extend a huge shout out to him for allowing me to do that. So let's get started with the HLX's damage. The HLX has a damage profile of 30, dropping down to 23, and then dropping down to 19 damage. So a pretty reasonable damage profile there, by no means a weak damage profile, on par with a few of the other stronger SMGs, and that of course means that it is a 4 to 5 shot kill. It has a 4-shot range of 15 meters and a 5-shot range of 22 meters. So as you guys can see, the 4 and 5-shot ranges on this gun are quite considerate. After 22 meters, it'll be a 5-shot kill, which in itself doesn't sound too amazing, but the rate of fire on the weapon is 1,000 rounds per minute. A very, very tidy figure, and it is the second fastest firing SMG in Black Ops 3 beside the VESPER. Also, rapid fire bumps it up to 1,071 rounds per minute, but this rate of fire, 1,000 rounds per minute, along with the range, the 4-shot range and the 5-shot range, is what makes this gun so deadly. It will dump so many bullets down range. Like, this thing is so freaking powerful, and I'll talk a little bit more about my opinions on the gun at the end, but I'm just gonna say this gun is ridiculously strong with the 5-shot kill range and the 4-shot kill range, along with the 1,000 rounds per minute. It has a default magazine capacity of 36 rounds, which is bumped up to 50 with extended mags, and this gun does burn through its magazine, so I would recommend fast mags or extended mags if you have the slot for it. It has a headshot multiplier of 1.1x, which again, like most of the SMGs in this game, is useless at all ranges, so headshots don't really benefit the weapon, although they are super satisfying to get. It has a reload speed of 2.3 seconds. This is a gun that you want to be at least having fast mags on. I found myself using fast mags more often than not, just because sometimes the reload speed can be a bit punishing, and if you put extended mags on there, then it's even more so. It has a sprint out time of 0.25 seconds, which is standard for most of the SMGs, and an ADS time is also 0.25 seconds, again, standard for most of the SMGs, so nothing too special there. The iron sights of the weapon are amazing. I love these iron sights. Not only are they aesthetically pleasing and really, really badass looking, but they work really, really well in practical terms as well. The gun has very open iron sights, which means you can track enemies really well. It's not hard to use this, and in conjunction with the recoil, which is actually low to moderate, I find myself having no trouble with this gun whatsoever. I found myself using this in so many scenarios. I could use this long range, medium range, close range. There wasn't many situations where this gun didn't perform, and the iron sights along with recoil just work so well together, so I felt no need whatsoever to put a optic of any kind on this gun. The iron sights are amazing as they are, and the recoil is low to moderate and very, very controllable. It's pretty much vertical recoil, so as long as you're able to control a little bit of vertical recoil, you can keep this gun very steady. Now for the special weapon traits. Of course, this is the gun, this is the SMG. They had to do something special for it to counter the really high rounds per minute, and the range, of course, they had to give it a rechamber round. So basically, every time that you start firing with the HLX, it has to rechamber a round, which takes 0.65 seconds, and that can put you off a little bit, but I'm going to say it never bothered me that much. It's not as difficult to use as the LV8 Basics, where you have to charge up the weapon and then it fires. No, there's no delay whatsoever. You can fire the gun as much as you like, but as soon as you stop firing, then it has to rechamber, which takes, again, 0.65 seconds. So that can take a little bit of getting used to, but I never found myself having too much of trouble with it. This is not a gun to tap fire with. This is a gun to be accurate with, and then just let the gun do its work. Acquire a target, and then just spray them down with your ridiculously fast fire rate and range. I found that the rechamber time barely even makes a dent in the performance of the gun. Of course, the gun will be better without it, but as a balancing factor, I guess it's there, although it doesn't do much to hinder the weapon at all. The last little quirk this weapon has is it actually has the worst SMG hipfire out of all the SMGs. So hip firing with this gun without laser sight is not advised. You want to be aiming down sight a lot of the time. I suppose that's another balancing factor for the weapon. If it had amazing hip fire, then it'd just be overpowered in so many levels. So yeah, be cautious when hip firing this weapon, as the hip fire is worse than all of the other SMGs. Now, what do I think about this weapon? This weapon is amazing. There's not much more I can say about it. This is easily the best SMG in the game, in my opinion. In my opinion, it beats out the Kuda. In my opinion, it beats out the VMP and the Vesper. It is, in my opinion, the best SMG in this game. The fire rate combined with the range of this weapon is amazing. It has better range than the Vesper, better fire rate than the Kuda. It has a better 5-shot range than the VMP and a better 4-shot range than the VMP. People might be comparing this weapon to the Kuda, but the best way I can describe it is a mix between the VMP and the Vesper, and it's the best attributes from those two weapons. It really is. It has a ridiculously high fire rate with damage and range to back it up. I had no troubles using it under any situations, no matter what attachments I put on it, no matter how I played it. This weapon always performed for me, and this was a weapon that I could consistently do well with. It didn't matter what attachments I had, what perks I was running, who I was playing against. This gun consistently did well for me, and so I can't fault the weapon. Other than the rechamber time, which is of course a balancing factor, this gun is just amazing. It's probably one of the better supply drop weapons in the game, in my opinion. So if you're looking for an absolute powerhouse of an SMG from the DLC weapons added into the game, this is your go-to weapon. If you had this in your collection and you haven't used it or taken advantage of it, I highly recommend you try it, as it is an amazing SMG that you will struggle to do bad with. As for how I like to run this class, this is going to be one of the rare occasions where I say I don't really have any recommended classes. Other than the usual, quick draw, fast mags and extended mags, there's no real wrong way to run this class. A suppressor will cut down the range, but there were so many games where I found myself doing really well with suppressor as well. So there's no wrong way to use this weapon, in my opinion. The only thing that I can recommend is that you use fast mags, because the reload time can be a little punishing, but other than that, do what you like with this weapon. I ran it with quick draw and extended mags. I ran it with quick draw and fast mags. I had rapid fire and laser sight on there. I had every combination I could think of with this weapon, and it just took it in its stride, and I did really, really well with it. This was a very, very fun and satisfying gun to use, and in terms of just how good the weapon is and performs, I would give it a 10 out of 10. The drawbacks that Treyarch tried to put on the weapon, the inhibitors, hipfire spread, and the rechamber times, do not discredit the weapon at all. They don't take away from the weapon experience, and so I would recommend this gun for people wanting to do well and looking for a really powerful SMG to have some fun with. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode of In Depth on the HLX4. Let me know which gun you would like me to do down in the comment section below. Keep in mind that I've already covered a few of the weapons in Black Ops 3. If you would like to see the weapons that I've previously covered, feel free to check out my channel. You'll find them all there. And again, I would like to thank Marvel4 for providing all of the stats on all of these weapons. Like I've said in previous videos, it's amazing that we have someone still so dedicated to the Black Ops 3 community that they can go into the code of the game and provide these stats, and not only that, but provide them for content creators like myself to make content like this. So a huge shout out and a huge thanks to Marvel4. If you would like to see the stat sheets for Black Ops 3, they're always in the description below, along with a link to the Den Curson forums. So anyway guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. So if you have enjoyed, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I shall see you, beautiful people, in the next video.